ADD and ADHD. It's a stamp we get from a very young age. But what if I told you that your ADD or ADHD could be transformed into a superpower? My name is Ina, and I've been an entrepreneur for 8 years. And all I heard growing up from my teachers was I would never reach anything, and I would be absolutely like the waste of society because I couldn't pay attention, I had bad grades, I had a hard time reading, focusing on things that weren't really in my interest. And now, after having my business and having kind of success, I realized that my ADHD became my superpower. So like I said, I grew up with teachers telling me all the time that I was kind of worthless because I couldn't pay attention like the other kids. Every bird that flew out of the window I saw, things that didn't interest me were my worst grades. But guess what? The things that did interest me were my best grades. I didn't have a long attention span for things that were not interesting. But the things that did interest me got my full attention. And guess what? I got really, really good at those things. You might be struggling with ADHD or ADD too, and that's fine because you might have some superpowers that you didn't know. Okay, so where to start? First of all, how can you get this superpower is by not realizing what you don't have, because you maybe don't have a lot of attention, maybe you have a hard time concentrating, maybe you have a hard time with learning new things or reading books. But guess what? If you have a goal and if you have something that you really want in life, your ADHD will make sure that you get that goal. And here's why. We don't get a lot of focus, but when we do focus, we get hyper focus. Okay? The things that caught our attention are mostly the things that we geek about and that we go inside and that we just take as our own, that we eat. So I think it's mostly important for people with ADD or ADHD to really follow our passions and go through with the things that we really, really want to do and that we're really passionate about. So cut out all the things that you're not passionate about and follow your passions in life is number one. Secondly, I learned how to plan, and I think that's the reason of my success, is because I am a super planner. I read a book called The Bullet Journal, and I journal and I write things down, and it's just a great help because every day I realize that I get to use my second brain, aka my little book, which is not something I have to do, but something that nearly helps me to focus and concentrate and get the things done that I need to do. Because you know how extremely hard it is to get focused and to get things done. So writing it down and having a structure for yourself was an absolute necessity for myself. So as third and not last is to not get conditioned by this so-called disease. I know how hard it is because ever I was 6 years old, I had to take Ritalin or Rilatin to be able to focus. And I always felt like I had a kind of disease, which made me feel kind of like an outsider and also made me feel like I need something else in order to concentrate in my life. But nothing is further from the truth. I cannot let the present self be conditioned by my past self and by all the teachers and all the people that told me I couldn't. You gotta look in the mirror and you gotta say, I got this. Because guess what? If you're really passionate about something, you cannot do it like other people without ADD or ADHD. You can do it better. You can shine more. You have more power, more energy. And that energy is given to you for a purpose. Because you're meant to share this energy with the world. You're meant to shine. You're meant to get out there and do things that other people cannot do with less energy. So use your energy in a good way, structure it, and let go of your old self. Because I know you can focus. Because I did it too. I hope you enjoyed this. Leave something in the comments. Follow for more, and I see you next time.